people would be like, your daughter's so, but everybody
we love
I'm like,
her.
oh my, that girl is crazy.
She's so like straightforward. Me and Jamie and how you try to talk in code and rock kids. She like she catch right on.
Yo, the other morning I tried to she thought I was going to work, so I let her think that, right? So I put like some wine in my Stanley and I was going. She's like, Mommy, if you want to get fired from your job, won't you just quit?
Yes,
like, you should mind your business.
I see your growth, it's amazing. Always evolving on a daily.
Welcome back to another episode of the Real Joy Podcast. Today I have here with me Brittany.
Hi, guys.
Brittany, I met Brittany through Jamie's little client, Nyla. So we call her Nyla's mom, but she has a name. Her name is Brittany. So real quick, before we start our episode today, we're going to do a journal prompt out of our new journal. So we're just going to jump right into it. What are 3 things I wish my younger self knew? I'll let you go first because I think I might have stole some of yours when we were talking. So I'll let you go first. Yes.
3 things I thought say that? Things that I wish my younger self knew.
Yes.
For a fact, for one is how dope I really am.
Yes.
Because I spent a lot of time trying to rearrange myself for other people to like me and trying to do things other kind of ways until I learned my own path and realized that my path is the path that they need to be in.
Yes.
So that's one thing
really
I feel like I should have learned early on, but now I know it, so it's good.
Now I know.
Another thing I wish I knew is that the people around you are not always to hurt you. You know how you have older adults and they're trying to tell you something and you she's getting on my nerves, or she's doing too much.
Sometimes listen.
And sometimes you just gotta listen. And
I've been here before.
The crazy way.
Yeah.
I learned that the crazy way. And that my mom is always right.
Always.
She don't see this part, but
always.
Yeah, always.
Like we were saying, they know that little friend that they like. That girl's not your friend.
She knows. My mother is always right. That's key.
Top.
That's key.
It's top.
That's key.
And it's even being a mom now is it makes you look back to moments of silliness. Your mom wants the best for you. Your mom is the person that wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's why not listen to her?
Why you gotta fight me? I'm trying to tell you something that's good for you.
No, seriously.
So I definitely understand that.
Yes, I agree. And I want to piggyback off of the first one you said, but kind of for me, I kind of feel that because it's it's not that you don't fit in. It's you weren't meant to fit in. You know what I mean? And I look back and rooms, I never tried to force my way in. It's almost I just knew let me go over here. I'm not meant to. Yeah, I'm not meant to be over here. And I think it came across as oh, she's arrogant or she thinks she's too good but it's like you said, I just knew I was different early on. And I'm starting to see it with my daughter too. She'll come home from school and she'll say certain things. I'm they not like us. It's okay. They just not like us.
You sad for that?
Exactly. I said, it's all going to make sense when you get older. Do not be sad about that. Yeah. So definitely that. I think what I would tell my younger self is every fallback or every L really is a lesson. It's not the end of the world. I feel sometimes we spend too much energy being low or being down when you could just see the lesson and go just move on. We spend so much energy in it. So it's I would tell myself that. And then the third one, boys/men is not the world's it's more to life than boys and men. I would tell my 20-year-old self that. When I look at my roster from my 20s.
These boys could never. You could never.
I said, I even sat next to you.
You could never.
And I used to cry over y'all. I used to I used to try to get you to see my value. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I would definitely, that should have been my number one.
Yep.
These boys.
It's nothing.
No, you're going to look back. The same ones you're crying over, you're going to end up laughing at. So
that's what I tell the girls in because I work at a high school. So I tell them all the time, boys are going to be here. Like, you're going to go on, you're going to live your life, you're going to do whatever you're going to do.
They're going to be right there.
They're going to be right here.
Probably in the same spot that you leave them in.
Like, it's crazy. Like, y'all both can go and do y'all lives and just meet back. Like, my boyfriend now was my friend in 5th grade. And I never, ever, ever seen him like that.
Oh, that's so cute.
But he wasn't my shorty. He wasn't that was just my boy. And we went and did our lives. I went and did my life. Like, and I even moved to South Carolina at school. Came back, and look who my boyfriend is. All these years later.
Oh, like, that's so cute. I'm going to have you back on when I talk about love and relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you could give me a word or two. But all right. So today our topic is more so to do with like self-care, how to learn how to take care of ourselves before our body makes us. Yes. So I'm not going to tell your story because I definitely want to reveal your story as we go on. So what was life like before your health scare? We'll call it a health scare for now.
Life was free. Like, I didn't have like a care in the world besides my daughter. Like, yeah, I just felt like I was just running on everything,
making ends meet, just doing whatever you needed
I wanted
to do.
I was doing. I was working overnight. I had a first shift job. I was being a mom during the day. I was tutoring during the evening, and I was eating steak and cheeses,
living
drinking
life,
Red Bulls, making like nachos at home, and that's just what I was eating off. That was what I was surviving off of.
Yeah.
And like, my daughter was little, like she was to the point where like I didn't have to cook a whole meal because it was just me and her. Like,
mm-hmm.
She'll be happy with hot dogs and mac and cheese.
Exactly.
Like that'll be happy to her. Like, and I just was going like, and every day it felt like if I wasn't tired or if I took like a quick little 30-minute nap, I was straight. Like, I was straight because I didn't feel it. Like,
you had trained yourself.
I just was training myself to go, and I just knew I needed money. All I cared about was getting money. Like, and so me and my daughter could be comfortable. Me and my daughter could stay there, and I could keep on driving my car, everything. I didn't care about nothing else. And even when I wasn't working overnight and working the first shift and doing everything, I was going out with my friends on the weekends.
Yeah.
On Fridays, I would go by. I was getting off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon after working overnight. Got off at 7. Got off at 7, had to be to my next job by 8. My daughter had to be to her daycare at 7:30. So I would go home, take a quick shower, literally go get her, like the same thing, and just go home, take a quick nap for probably like 2 hours, 3 hours, go get drunk with my friends and be outside.
Yeah, and then do it all over.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So it's like really all you were balancing was like work, being a mom, and fun. Like,
that's literally all I was. And whole time I was in school, but I was doing so bad in school at that point in time. Like, that wasn't my priority.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't my priority. Like, now at the age I am now and like the place I am now, I had to retake all of those classes.
Yeah.
Because I just was there to say I was there.
Yeah.
And
I was not really in the mind space to be there.
Not in the mind space to be there at all.
Which I feel like you were kind of in like survival mode, it sounds like. Like, definitely like, I just need to make ends meet. I need to be a good mom, keep my daughter alive, keep a roof over her head, keep us in a car. Yes.
That's about it.
And I feel like when you're in that mode, it's hard to think of anything outside of it. That's why it's called survival mode.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know I was in survival mode.
You never do.
I didn't know. Like, I didn't know.
You just get it's like a hamster on the wheel.
For a fact. Just
going around and around. So did you have like any, thinking back, right, before the health scare happened, did you have any moments you're like, maybe that could have been it? Or like, oh my gosh, like, did I feel something and I just ignored it? Or did it really just hit you when it happened?
It just hit me. Like, it just hit me. And I was in nursing school. Like, so like when it hit me, I knew
exactly what it was
hitting me, but I didn't feel it before then. Like, I didn't feel it before that day. Before that moment. When it was actually happening, that's when I felt it. And like, after I knew, because I was drinking Red Bulls after Red Bulls after Red Bulls. I wanted the green one, I wanted the yellow one, I wanted
in the moment where this happened, you're probably like, this, of course this is happening to me. Like,
for a fact.
Like, duh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know I heard your story. And when you told it, I was like getting goosebumps. But try to like put them in the car with you on that day. Like, what were you doing? Where were you going? And what was your mind set on that kind of got you through it?
So let's start I was home. I was home that day. It was a Saturday. And I was home that day. And my daughter, she was about 2 or 3, and she was away with my mother. And my mother had called to say that she was bringing her home, and I said okay, but I was gonna get up and make her some food, but my mother ended up bringing her McDonald's, so I didn't have to get up. But I was just so tired. But I just, as much as like I said, I was going and going and going, so I just really felt like I needed to go to sleep, and I just was tired. So my mother brought my daughter in and everything, and I got up and I was in the refrigerator, and I'm dressed for Yale. I was doing environmental services at the time, cleaning the rooms overnight, and I was dressed for Yale, and I was in the refrigerator, and I just felt myself like feel dizzy for a second, and I stopped, and I'm just like, so I just sit there, and I went and I sat on my couch or whatever. So my daughter, like, she little, so she jumping on me, and I'm just like, give mommy a second. I'm like, go get mommy a water. Like, could you go get mommy a water? The refrigerator was still open, because when I felt like I immediately needed to sit down, so I never closed the refrigerator. So she went and got me a water or whatever. And I sat there or whatever, and I still felt like a little tired, but I'm just like, all right, Brittany, you're going to be late for work, so you got to get up. So I got up, whatever. I got my shoes and everything, and I had to get my daughter was with my mother, so her car seat was in my living room, and I had to bring it to my car. So I went to go pick up the car seat. So as y'all know, like, a car seat is not nothing, but it felt like the heaviest thing picking it up. Like, I tried to pick it up, and it just felt so heavy. So I picked it up, and I managed to get it to my car or whatever. So my daughter with me or whatever. Mind you, it's pouring raining outside. She's with me or whatever, and I put the car seat in there, and I struggled getting her in the car. So I strapped them both in or whatever, and she goes back there, and she instantly goes to sleep, and I sit down in my seat, in my driver's seat. And mind you, I live in Exit 8, like up on Quinnipiac at the time. And where I was going, where my daughter was going, was to my aunt's house in the hill next to Roberto Clemente. So at that point, my body felt weird. Like, and I knew that my body felt weird. I knew something was happening to me, but I didn't know exactly what was happening to me. I just knew it was something. So I started to drive, whatever. I lived on the hill, whatever. So I'm driving down the hill, everything, and I get on the highway. And like, once I'm driving on the highway, I feel this whole side of me get numb. And like, mind you, I'm driving on the highway, and I'm just like...
And it's raining.
It's raining, and I can't see it to begin with. Like, I already need glasses.
Right.
So like, I'm driving, and I feel everything get numb. So I like switch so I could drive like that. So my brothers used to laugh at me and say that when I was learning to drive, I drove with both feet. So I knew how to drive with this foot already. So
You was prepared for this moment.
So I switched whatever, and I made it all the way to the hill and everything, and I got to my aunt's street. So say like where your arm is my aunt's house. I stopped like over here to my aunt's house, and her son came downstairs. He like, Britt, why are you way up here? And I'm just like, let me rewind. When I got in front of her house to stop, I tried to stop and I couldn't stop. Cause I couldn't press down on my foot, and I felt like I was like pressing down so hard, and it wasn't doing anything. Like, so when I was able to stop in front of her house, that's why I was up there. And he came down there like, why are you parked way down here? And I'm just like, go get your mom, or whatever. So I'm just like get Nyla, like get my daughter out the back. So she sleep, he bring her upstairs or whatever. And I'm walking to their porch to sit down. So he like, you could walk. So I could like, I feel like I'm walking regular, but I know I'm like dragging myself. Like, and he like, you okay? And I just start throwing up. That's why I had to buy, I owe him a pair of sneakers. I messed up his sneakers because I just started throwing up, and I couldn't stop throwing up, and I didn't know while I was throwing up or whatever. So his mother, like, she come downstairs, Brittany, what's wrong with you? I'm just like, I can't breathe, like nothing, like what's wrong? So I'm talking to her, and I'm talking to her regular, but she's looking at me like, Brittany, what's wrong with you? And I'm just looking at her like, I'm talking to you, like I'm telling you what's wrong with me, like, and she like put her ear like right here to my mouth, and I realized she couldn't hear nothing that was coming out of my mouth, because even though I felt like I was talking, I wasn't saying anything or whatever. So then I start throwing up again. She's like, I'm calling your mother. So she called my mother live around the corner. So my mother come around the corner, and her and her sister like lift me up, like they was like, come on, Brittany, you got to go to the hospital. So I stood up, and then I fell back down because I was so weak. They was like, she can't stand up. So they picked me up and put me in the car. And when I got to the hospital, my mother had to pick me up and put me in a wheelchair because I couldn't walk. And at that point, I couldn't feel absolutely anything. Like the last time when I felt something again is when the lady like was messing with my fingers, like telling me to do certain things or whatever like that. But I was still so out of it. And I didn't really come to a conclusion of what happened to me and everything like that until I was in a room. And I was in a room with 2 other ladies, one that had a stroke 3 years ago and one that's been there for like 9 months. And I was in that room, and that's what happened. I had the stroke, and then when it came down to it, I ended up having a hole in my heart. So I had to be out of work for like 10 months. And then when I finally went back to work, I had to be out of work again because at that point I had to have my heart surgery. And I had to walk around with like a heart monitor on because they had to monitor my thing. That's why I always wear my Apple Watch because it monitors it. And if it's like, if my pulse is going too fast or too slow or something, or if I need to sit down and chill, my watch tell me it's time to sit down. Like or your blood pressure is too high. Like it literally tells me because like my doctor actually helped me program everything that it should be. Oh, wow. And so when it's like too much or too low, I can instantly tell that.
That's good for people to know too, that is a good feature that they can use on their watch. But y'all, so Brittany is at the studio telling us this, and let's go back to Nyla. So we're all sitting there so serious. We looking at Brittany. Here go Nyla. Mommy, why auntie call your mother? Why didn't nobody call 911? Remember? She was like, and we're all like good point.
Right. Nobody was thinking that.
So that just goes back to Nyla real quick. It reminding me of that. But
she never heard the story.
She never heard it. So she's listened to the whole story. And she's just like, but mommy, we're like, what's this little girl gonna say? Why would y'all not call? Like, and then she's like, ask her, and where was I at? Right, and we're just like, oh my gosh. But yes.
Right.
So, wow. So looking back, all them Red Bulls you were drinking, I'm sure was not good for your heart.
I won't touch a Red Bull.
No.
Like, I won't touch a Red Bull, no energy drink, no type of nothing. Like, and my friends will tell you, like, Brittany, give me a Red Bull. I'm not getting you no Red Bull. Like, I'll get you a lemonade or I'll get you something else. I'm not buying nobody no Red Bull. Just because I know that I overdid it with the Red Bulls, but I also know that how not good they are for you.
Yeah.
So that is definitely like any type of energy drink, any type of anything. I don't want no parts.
So you said when you got to the hospital, they had you in a room with somebody that was there for 3 years from something you just experienced. Yep. And then someone who
there for 9 months.
For 9 months.
And they both was older ladies. Like this was me. This was like 3 years ago. So I was like 29, 30. And these old ladies, and they just like, you're so young to be here. What are you doing? All my doctors just kept telling me I'm young. And I'm just looking at them like, but I'm here. Yeah. Like, so how are you going to assist me? Because.
So what was your mindset like? Like, because I know me, like if I'm walking into a situation, okay, I just had this, you've been here for this long. I don't have all this time. I can't be here for 9 months. I can't be here for years. Like, how did it like, were you like defeated in that moment, or did you feel like, okay, I gotta fight for this? Like, how do you remember? Like,
I was scared.
Yeah,
I was scared. Every day it was going by. How much more tests y'all got to take? What y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
Do I get out of here today? Do I get out of here tomorrow? Like I was so pressed to get out, and I ended up having to stay there for a week. And it felt like the longest week of my life.
Especially when you're used to the lifestyle you were living before. Not sitting down.
I'm not a sit down person.
Exactly. Not
even
relaxing.
now that I have to sit down, I'm not a sit down person. Like when I feel like I'm sitting down, I feel like it's something that you should be doing. Like I'm not.
I could be doing something right now.
Like, even if I'm on my phone, just rearranging my notes to fit something. Like something's got to give. I got to be doing something.
So in the second part, we're going to learn how Brittany had to make herself sit down, what life looked like for her after that, what self-care routines did you come up with, and what does your life look like today?
Okay.
So we'll be back. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Real Joy Podcast. I hope today's conversation brought you closer to finding your own joy and left you feeling inspired. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you like what you heard, share it with your circle. It might be just the thing they need. Let's keep growing, glowing, and finding joy together. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember to keep it relaxed, relatable, and real. See you soon.
I can see you making moves. The chosen one, we steady choosing you. She dope as hell, but she a Libra too.